What's up, ballers? We're here talking about the Volair Mach 2 Forza. You know, it's a little bit similar construction to the Volair Mach 1 Forza. It is a thermoformed unibody paddle, but this shape, this wide body shape with the 5.5 inch handle, I haven't played with anything like it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Let's just get into the quick length here, which is 15.88 inches and 8.12 inches wide. You do not see that combination often, especially with a 5.5 inch handle. So I usually don't play wide body or standard shape paddles because usually they don't come with a longer handle, and I do prefer at least a 5.3 inch handle. So I really enjoyed using this, and it comes in 14 and 16 millimeters. So let's get into those specs real quick and we can compare the difference. And then I will get into my play testing of the paddle. So we have two different thicknesses, 14 millimeter and 16 millimeter, and then both have raw carbon faces, 15.88 inches in length, 8.12 inches in width, 5.5 inch handle length, and a 4.15 inch grip circumference. Where we get different now is the weight, 7.7 ounces for the 14 and 8 ounces for the 16. You can notice the difference. And then the swing weight, 108 for the 14 and 112 for the 16 millimeter, which brings us into the twist weight of 6.99 for the 14 and 7.37 for the 16 millimeter. So how does that translate? Well, for the feel and the control, it makes a big difference. The 16 obviously is better, and it is significantly better. You will notice a wider sweet spot, and you'll notice just so much easier to reset, hit your drops a little bit better. But the 14 millimeter is really not bad. It just is a noticeably not as good as the 16 millimeter. The power isn't as big of a difference as you would think. The 16 millimeter does get more finishing power than the 14 millimeter, but not by a lot. The pop is the other big differentiator here, where the 14 really excels in the pop, and the 16 is okay, but just not as good as the 14. And then we get to the spin. Spin gives me the highest spin I've gotten besides the Volair Mach 1 Forza, but they're very close. All four of the Forzas got over 2300 RPM for me. So let's talk about the 14 millimeter first. I really enjoyed this, especially after adding lead tape. I don't think you have to. It just helps with it reducing a little twist in your hand, and it gives you a little bit bigger of a sweet spot, a little bit more power. But really, you can keep the drives very low with the 14 millimeter, which is great. I won a lot of points just driving it right up the middle because you're just able to make that ball dip so fast with all the spin that you get. I didn't have any trouble adjusting to the drives, really. It was more of hitting some roll volleys and poaches out of the air that I had trouble adjusting to with the reduced length. But the power for the 14 millimeter is okay. It's, you know, it's still a unibody thermoform paddle, so it's still good. And then the 16 millimeter, the power is a little bit better, and the control is a little bit better. You just lose that pop, and I think that having the pop with the low swing weight and the maneuverability of the 14 millimeter is really where the Mach 2 Forza line shines. If you do want that max control, then the 16 millimeter is still fun, still pretty maneuverable at the net, and you gain that bigger sweet spot. So if you're looking for that, then the 16 millimeter will be your choice. But my personal favorite was the 14 millimeter with the lead tape added. And you can see it just side by side compared. You can see that difference there in the length, and then here you can see the difference in the width between the two. Both have the 5.5 inch handle, so you're not losing out on anything there. So let's jump ahead. So what is my conclusion here? Well, you have a wide body paddle that has some of the most spin in the game. For some, they're measuring the most. I still got more with the Mach 1 Forza, but at the net, a lot of people haven't been always test on the serve. At the net, on the roll volleys, on these quick flicks, I think the Mach 2 Forza is getting more spin than the Mach 1 Forza, so I wanted to differentiate there. And so overall playability, I've been playing more with the Mach 2 Forza 14 millimeter. I have 3 grams of lead tape on the corners here. Which one is it? Right here. I have it from here to here. 3 grams on each side. A lot of people ask where you put it. So if you want to call that 4 and 8 or 5 and 7, it's kind of hard because it's not exactly a clock shape there. But overall, the main areas I like it in the resets. Love the resets. The hand battles. The hand battles are amazing with this paddle because, especially with the 14, you get the pop, you get the low swing weight, so you get the hand speed that comes along with it, and you get the amazing spin. And the high twist weight, because of that wide body paddle, makes this thing just, it makes it incredible for control during those hands battles. A lot of people don't think about picking your spot during those hands battles, but it makes the ball just come off cleaner because you have more area where you're getting that sweet spot if you're tending to hit it on that center point right here from side to side. So I did miss out a little bit on the reach. You know, I was using the Pro Line Energy from Pickleball Apes, the 17-inch. So it's a huge difference dropping more than an inch. But I was able to adjust. I think I maybe don't get to 1 ball a game because I don't have that extra reach. But I think I make up for it with the placement, the resets, the extra pop that I get from the 14mm. So if you're looking to get the 16mm, I think it is a great one. You're going to lose out on that pop, and the pop difference is significant. I have seen people saying that the pop difference isn't that big of a deal. I think it's a huge deal. And obviously you're gonna lose out on the control of the 16mm, and the sweet spot's a little smaller on the 14mm, but I think sacrificing that sweet spot, sacrificing that control is worth the extra pop. And then you lose out on power, obviously, for the 14mm and the finishing power. But I didn't feel that it was enough. You know, with thermoform paddles, you usually have a baseline of power, and I think it's enough to sacrifice that power for that extra pop. So, do I recommend this paddle? Do I recommend the Mach 2 Forza 14mm and 16mm, or do I recommend just one? I recommend both. I think that each of these paddles can fit someone really well. If you're looking for the ultimate control and you're just having problems with control, you just can't seem to get a consistent shot, you're missing your sweet spot, then get the 16mm. Sorry, this is a 16mm. Get the 16mm. If you feel like your control is decent and you like the extra pop, you want the hand speed to be the best, get the 14mm and then add 3 grams of lead tape to the corner sides here. I might switch to this paddle. I don't know. It's that good. I never thought I'd be saying that about a wide body paddle, but Volair, they did a great job here. The one thing I don't think it's good for is singles. I think you need the extra reach, and the drives are good, but I just feel like you need the extra power and reach in singles. But I don't play singles that often, so and I think most people play doubles. This is great. You got to go try it if what I described fits your play style. Thank you. And of course, you can use code ALLDRIVE NO-DROP for 10% off. That helps support me. That helps get you a discount and support your bank account. Thank you very much. Everyone have a great day. Please subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Drop a comment if you've played with the Forza and your experience with it, or if you're gonna go get one. Let me